It is a new year and it's a year full of twos, 2022. And there's a lot to look forward to if you're in the market for a new two-wheeler. Last year was a pretty eventful year for the bike market, but this year promises to be just as exciting, if not more. So here are all the new bikes and scooters that you can look forward to in 2022. Now, this sort of thing usually comes down to a mix of estimation and guesswork, but rather strangely, Ducati has already told us exactly what bikes it'll be launching in India this year. So let's start there. There are a couple of truly new machines as well as evolutions, model year updates and special editions. Among the all-new bikes, you have the Street Fighter V2, which is essentially a stripped-down version of the Panigale V2 Supersport, and the extremely exciting Desert X, which is Ducati's first truly hardcore adventure bike in a very long time. Coming to the updated bikes, we start off with the Multistrada V2, which is an evolution of the Multistrada 950, and the 2022 Panigale V4, which has received a number of meaningful updates including gearing changes, new ergonomics and electronics. The updated Panigale will receive a more hardcore SP variant later in the year, and the naked Street Fighter V4 will also receive an SP variant in India this year. The other bike in the V4 lineup, the Multistrada V4, will receive a Pikes Peak edition, which is a sportier, more street and track focused version than the standard bike. Which leaves us with just the special editions. There's a couple of scramblers, the Scrambler 1100 Tribute Pro and the Scrambler 800 Urban Motard. Then there's the Panigale V2 Troy Bayliss edition, which of course wears a livery inspired by the World SPK Championship winning machines that Troy Bayliss rode. And the ex-Diavel Poltrona Frau edition, which has been built in collaboration with a luxury Italian furniture brand. Moving on to Ducati's fellow rival Aprilia, which will bring us the last remaining bike from its 660cc lineup, the Touareg 660 adventure bike. This is a pakka off-roader complete with a 21-inch 18-inch wire spoke wheel combo, and it uses the same parallel twin engine as the Tuono 660 and RS 660 that are already on sale in India. Continuing with the Europeans, we come to BMW, which has a few models for us in 2022. It internationally rolled out a couple of new versions of its mega R18 cruiser, the R18B and R18 Transcontinental, both of which are more touring oriented and should come to India sometime this year. At the more affordable end of things, you have the F750 and 850 GS adventure bikes, which have received emissions updates and should return to the Indian market sometime this year. We move on to BMW's Indian partner TVS, which has quite a lot in store for us this year. The most exciting of that is a naked bike based on the 310cc platform co-developed with BMW. This bike should resemble a stripped-down Apache RR310 and feature similar bells and whistles. TVS also seems to be working on a new B2B electric scooter, which has been spotted testing with a rear luggage rack in place of a pillion seat, as well as a neo-retro scrambler-style motorcycle that sort of resembles the Yamaha FZX. Another Indian manufacturer with a lot in store for us this year is Royal Enfield. Now, quite a lot of its upcoming models are already quite well known. We know that there are one or two 650cc cruiser models on the horizon, and these are likely to be called the Shotgun and the Super Meteor. There's also a more affordable bare bones Himalayan that's coming, and it's most likely going to be called the Scram. Then there's a roadster style motorcycle called the Hunter. This is a lower displacement machine that's been spotted testing several times already. And finally, there is a chance that Royal Enfield could update its legendary Bullet with the new J platform engine that's already seen in the new Classic and the Meteor. The final Indian manufacturer whose plans for this year are quite clear is Hero Motocorp. The company will make a step into the unknown this year by launching its very first electric scooter in March. It's also likely that the 200cc 4-valve motor that debuted in the Xpulse 200 4V will make its way into the Xtreme 200S fully faired street bike. Hero also recently made news because of yet another big investment in Ather Energy. The Bengaluru-based startup is expected to roll out a new, more affordable e-scooter this year to take on the likes of Simple Energy and Ola Electric. Elsewhere in the electric space, Ultraviolette Automotive will finally launch the electric motorcycle it revealed quite a long time ago, the F77. Swedish brand Husqvarna will also launch its own electric scooter, the Vector, which is quite heavily based on the updated Chetak. Yes, updated Chetak, because that electric scooter is right on the verge of receiving a more powerful motor and, more importantly, higher levels of localization. Husqvarna's sister brand KTM also has quite a lot in store for us this year. First up is the new RC390, which has updates in line with the new RC125 and RC200, as well as a new TFT display quite similar to that seen on the 390 Duke. The 390 Duke itself is due for an update, and KTM has also been spotted testing a revised 390 Adventure with a new wheel design, so expect these two as well. There's also a small chance that KTM might bring in an electric scooter of its own, also shared on the same platform as the Vector and the Chetak. As for any KTM big bikes to follow up the 790 Duke, well, the brand hasn't hinted at anything like this, so we can only hope. Switching from orange to green, we come to Kawasaki, which will bring us an updated version of its Versys 650 Adventure Tourer, complete with a much needed TFT display, similar to that seen on the Z650 and the Ninja 650. We haven't heard anything about the W175 in a while, so the status of that project remains unclear. Perhaps Kawasaki is having second thoughts about how well that bike will do in India. One vehicle we do know will arrive for sure is a new Suzuki electric scooter. It's likely to be based on the Bergman and could be called the Bergman Electric. The brand is also reportedly working on a V-Strom 250 adventure bike, which could share its engine with the 250cc Gixxers. Finally, the Japanese manufacturer could expand its big bike portfolio in India with the launch of the Katana, the GSX S1000 and its GT version, all of which use the same 999cc inline 4 engine. The updated GSX models were launched internationally last year and feature new styling and some added features. Another big player in the big bike market is Triumph, and it's right on the verge of bringing us the Tiger Sport 660, an adventure tourer based on the Trident 660. It's expected to arrive at quite an affordable price point and could even be under 10 lakh rupees on road. At the opposite end of things, you have the Tiger 1200, which is Triumph's flagship adventure bike. It recently received a comprehensive update, including a new engine concept, chassis and electronics, and it will arrive in 2022. Benelli's plans for 2022 include the reintroduction of the Leoncino 250, which shares its engine with a recently launched TRK 251. It'll also update the TNT 600, which is oh so popular here in India. Changes will include new styling and new instrumentation, among other things. And finally, there's the TRK 800, which is a relatively new bike, an adventure tourer that hasn't been on sale in India before. And finally, we have Harley-Davidson, from whom we will receive the updated 2022 Pan America, which gets a new color scheme and some revisions to its TFT display. The company also recently added a whole bunch of models to its global 2022 lineup, a few of which should launch in India this year. So there you have it. The list of new models coming our way this year is rather long. Which one of these are you most looking forward to? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and do subscribe to help us reach that 2 million subscriber mark.